Okay guys, let me tell you what I got going on here. I'm de-ringing my old pistons. The whole reason for this top end rebuild was because the engine was just leaking oil everywhere. It ran fine, but it was just leaking oil everywhere. All the gaskets were leaking, rubber O-rings dry out over a period of years. So I decided to strip it down and reseal everything. So in my overexuberance, I ordered the 860 kit from Wiseco, and I have that sitting over here in a box because I didn't know what the condition of my original pistons and rings were going to be. So I brought everything down to a machinist and I said, can you bore it out, put the Wiseco oversized pistons in it? And he goes, well, let's mic everything out first and see where we stand as far as being able to reuse everything. It might be possible to just put it back together. So a couple days later, he called me up and says, you know, your pistons and your rings are really in great shape. There's really no reason to bore anything out and go oversized, unless you want more power. I don't know. I'm 67 now. Do I really need more power? I don't know. Maybe we all need more power all the time. But anyway, so what I decided to do was to forego the Wiseco kit. I will be having that for sale, by the way. And I also bought an extra cylinder block off of eBay. So an extra cylinder block to go with the Wiseco piston kit. That's going to be up for sale later on. But anyway, so I'm starting to prep everything. The weather's getting nice here in the Pacific Northwest. And I'm de-ringing all the rings. Now, let me just kind of explain this for anybody who doesn't understand. I'm going to do this backwards, opposite of what I did. This is the top ring right here. Now, they say that there's supposed to be a little dot or a mark on the top of the top ring to indicate that that's the up position. There was no dot on here. So what I did is I put one dot on here to indicate that's the top ring. Then I took the second ring off and I put two dots on that ring. That's the second ring. And this is the third ring. This is the top of the oil assembly. So that's got three dots. This doesn't need any dots, kind of obvious. And this is the lower oil ring, and it's got five dots. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me explain how the oil rings work. This guy sits on top of this guy, sits on top of this guy in the piston. And the whole idea behind the piston going up and down is these two rings scrape oil off the wall and channel it into this little zigzag piece, which we'll call that a strainer. And that goes ahead and drips the oil into the little pinholes behind it and drops back down into the crankcase. So that's the whole idea behind that. That's how a three-piece oil ring system works. So let me go ahead and start showing you how I'm pulling these rings off here. I'm trying to be careful to reuse them in case I have to reuse them, just in case something goes wrong. So this is the top ring that always comes off pretty easy. I'm just going to make a little dot on that. That's number 1. You can see I kind of drew that out here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's the top ring. The second ring comes off a little bit harder. And on this piston, for some reason, it seems to be stuck in the groove. I don't know why that is. I don't know if the machinist jammed it in there. So I got this little nail clipper thing here. Been using this as a little hook to go in here and that's really tight. I don't want to force anything, but that's pretty tight. So I can pop that out. Go around it this way maybe. Not sure what's going on here. That's pretty tight. And it is coming out a little bit, but it's really stuck in there. The other ones all came out really easy. See, it's stuck right here where the end. I don't even know if I'm centered here on the camera. I might not be. Ah, there we go. Just a little goo in there. So I'm very gently going to spread this apart, move it up to the first groove, and then slide it off that way. Yeah, there's a little bit of rust on there. That's probably what happened. It's been sitting in a box all winter long. So I'm going to put 2 dots on this one because this is the second ring. Now I'll do the first oil ring. Let's see what we got here. It's right. There it is. So you can see what I'm doing there, just lifting that out very gently, a little bit at a time. Make sure we don't force anything. So that's going to be ring number 3, the top oil ring. So I'm going to put 3 little dots on that. 1, 2, 3. Now the strainer ring, that's what I call it. I got to find the end gap in that. And that actually, there's no gap in this one. This one, the 2 ends actually touch. So I got to try to find out where that is here. Anyway, it's in here somewhere. So I think I'm on the back side of the ring, or the back side of the split. Just going to keep working it hole by hole until I find, there we go. I think I found it. Nope, that's not it. It's kind of getting hung up on the ring that's left in there. Oh, we're getting closer. There we go. All right. This ring is a little bit more pliable than the others. It comes off a little bit more easy. So, like I said, it's more of a spring than anything else. I've never done this on the turbo. Back in the mid-1980s, I had to rebuild the engine on my GPZ 550. I used to race that here in Northern California with an organization called the AFM, American Federation of Motorcycles. Some of the tracks I raced at were Sears Point Raceway. It's not called Sears Point anymore. It's in Sonoma, California. I don't know what it's called now. Riverside Raceway in Riverside, California, but I think that's condos now. And Laguna Seca was a good track. And also Firebird Raceway in Phoenix. I don't think that exists anymore either. And let's see where else. Willow Springs. That was a great track. We're talking about getting fucking bike wide open. Nothing but desert out there. So now I'm trying to get the bottom oil rim out. Not using a lot of force, just trying to use my fingers here to lift it up into the top rings. There we go. Nice and easy. Now this one, I'm going to put 5 dots on. So you got 1, 2, 3, nothing, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's it for de-ringing, for lack of a better term. So I'm going to clean these up a little bit. I'm going to get a little tiny piece of steel wool. Oh, you know what? Oh, I thought I saw some damage on there. Guess not. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to clean these up a little bit. See if I can get some of this gunk off. Look at the cylinder, the pistons. There's no scarring. Well, there's a little scar right there. But for the most part, they're all in really good shape. And the bike's only got 25,000 miles, or 20,000 miles on it. So, yeah, that's how much I've ridden it in 40 years. All right, so that's de-ringing. You can see I got everything all laid out here. I'm going to cut this video, and I'm going to dunk the cylinder block into a bucket of degreaser and start brushing it and clean that up and get the pistons cleaned up a little bit. And the next video will be clocking. Let me show you the diagram that I'm going to be using. This is something I got off of eBay. So on the side view, we got I did these kind of backwards. Okay, so you got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5 is the number 1 compression ring. Kind of went backwards. Number 4 is compression ring 2. Number 3 is the top oil ring. Number 2 is the actual spring ring, and then the number 1 on the bottom is the bottom oil ring. So there's a top oil ring and a bottom ring, and the spring in the middle. So that's the order of the rings. Then when we get to the clocking, we want to do number 2. That's going to be the main oil ring facing directly toward the input or intake side. Then we want to do the bottom oil ring. It's going to be at number 1. Then the top oil ring will be at number 3. Then we'll put the fourth compression ring in, number 2, and that'll be at number 4. And finally, the top compression ring will be at number 5. So that's how our clock layout's going to be. So we'll get to that on step 29. I'm on step 2 right now. All right, 750 Turbo Guy. Over now.